Ask the
Hey,
first
Greg.
question. Are you ready,
Lucky
Greg?
you, brother.
Yes, I am.
He's
Here we go.
ready.
The Coliseum Theater at Caesar's Palace
Celine
in Las
Dion.
Vegas was originally built for who?
Celine Dion.
What is the capital of New Hampshire?
Concord.
What professional sports team plays its home games at Wrigley Field?
Cubs.
Yankees.
Which U.S. president was nicknamed the Trust Buster?
That's a good. Teddy Roosevelt.
Reagan.
In the 1964 hit movie Mary Poppins, Dick Van Dyke played Bert. Who played Mary?
Who played Mary?
Julie Andrews.
Julie
In the
Andrews.
1973 TV tennis match called the Battle of the Sexes, Bobby Riggs played what tennis legend?
Billie Jean
Billie
King.
Jean King.
What legendary band is Daryl Hall known for?
Hall & Oates.
Hall & Oates.
How many years are in a single U.S. House of Representatives term?
4.
In what 1999 horror movie did Jodie Foster and Anthony Hopkins star?
Silence of the
Silence
Lambs.
of the Lambs.
What is the name of the talking dog in the TV show Family Guy?
Brian.
Brian.
No, you got that
Oh!
one. But we ran out of time.
We ran
Greg.
out of time.
Okay.
You had a pass in there.
You had a pass in
Maybe
there.
a couple of clinkers, but you know
Maybe.
the important stuff. The
Maybe a
talking
couple
dog
of
on Family Guy.
Maybe a couple of three
Yes.
pointers. Well, get on in the
Yeah.
pass, Mike.
I appreciate you playing.
Okay. I had a great time.
Oh,
Yeah.
wonderful.
Oh, by the
guy.
way, Greg, this is pretty sweet because you did get 6 correct. 6 correct, so it's $90 in free play from Seminole Nation Casinos. You can catch Jackpot Fever at Seminole Nation Casinos, 3 great locations just east of the metro, where you can win jackpot after jackpot at Seminole Nation Casinos. $90 worth of free play.
Julie
Not too
Andrews.
shabby. You want to go
Not
over
too
these?
shabby.
Let's see what happens. How'd you play with Greg
wonderfully.
today? He was trekking along there pretty
Trekking
good.
along, singing
But
my
the
song.
Coliseum at Caesar's Palace in Las Vegas was originally built for, yes, Celine Dion.
Celine Dion.
The house that Celine built. What is the capital of New Hampshire? Greg
Concord.
passed on that one and we couldn't get back to it. It's Concord.
Thank you.
Concord, New Hampshire. What professional sports team plays its home games at Wrigley Field? Greg said the Yankees. It's the Cubbies. Chicago Cubs.
Chicago.
Yeah, Wrigley Field. Which U.S. president was nicknamed the Trust Buster? Greg said Reagan. It's a good guess, but not true. Theodore Roosevelt. In the
Chakalaka.
1964 hit movie Mary Poppins, Dick Van Dyke played Bert. Who played Mary?
This is an older
Julie
question.
Andrews. That's
Julie
right, Greg.
Andrews.
In the 1973
I gotta write that
TV
one
tennis
down.
match, it was called the Battle of the Sexes. Bobby Riggs played what tennis legend? Yeah, Billie Jean King. Correct. And
Gotta
she
turn
won.
that one around.
What legendary band is Daryl Hall known for? Pretty simple one there. Hall & Oates. Back when they used to get along, they had a lot of hits. How many years are in a single U.S. House of Representatives term? Well, Greg said 4.
It's 2.
That's not true. That's a presidential term. And a lot of governors serve 4 terms. But the House of Representatives are 2 terms. 2 terms. 2-year terms, I should say.
2.
And the Senate, 6. In what
That's
1999 horror movie did Jodie Foster and Anthony Hopkins star? Clarice. Silence of the Lambs, that's right. And like I say, Greg knew the important stuff. What's the name of the talking dog on the TV show Family Guy? He took a second. I could hear people screaming at their radios. It is
I can
Brian.
hear people in the room
Yeah.
mouthing Brian.
You never walk away empty-handed. Like I say, he did get 6 correct, which means $90 worth of free play at Seminole Nation Casinos. But $3,000 I was hoping to give away today. Tomorrow, same time, same place, every weekday morning at
Take that
7:10. I
channel.
give you the cue to call to win
You get
a
the
big
cue to
sack of
call.
money.
A
Unconventional, but
big
not impossible.
sack of money.
From the Lucky Star Casino
Well-
studio, we are 92.5 KOMA.
If you have Medicare
Here's
and
pissing
Medicaid
up
and
a
live in
dog's
Oklahoma
ass.
City, you may be able to get more help to cover your care and costs.
Johnny Hart. I have not played since September 25th. And I missed one question on that day, and I really think that I should have got it. So you can't play for 30 days, so I wasn't eligible till October 25th. So November 25th, January 25th, December 25th. It has been 90 days since I played. I once played 2 days in a row. I've played twice in 1 week. I abhor you people. If you're not really good, don't jam up the lines with your ignorance. And I don't know. I have no idea what it is or why we can't get in. Been caller 8, 5. But never avail. I sure would have liked to have played today. I kind of knew that was 2 and not 4, and I was thinking, but I like to be faster than they are, and so sometimes I'm guessing a little bit more than I should. 2 years, 2. I still enjoy it quite a bit. Somewhat. A little. Here's to all my adoring fans. Yeah, people like you, my fans. My fan. Wild and crazy. Going on into work again today, like every day. Work day, huh? Yeah. Headed on in. I went to Yummy Yummy last night, and there's a homeless person sitting out front. And they look at you. They try to make eye contact with you. I love making eye contact with the homeless. And I wonder, is that guy as happy as I am? I mean, sure, I get up and go to work every day. And I complain about it a lot. Damn, boy. And I complain about it a lot. And I got a pretty easy job that pays me, somewhat well. Gives me a lot of time off. And I looked at that guy, and I looked at me, and I looked at that guy, and I looked at me, and I looked in the mirror. And here's what I said. I am way, way happier than that guy. And I don't know what that guy's story is, but all the homeless people have a story. They do. They have a story. Here's a story. And I don't know what their story is, but I'm sure it starts out a lot with, yeah, I don't want to work. I feel like I'm worth more than that. I bailed on school early, and when I was there, I wasn't doing anything. My parents were this, my parents were that. Gave you a good role model on exactly what you shouldn't have wanted to have been. This is America. This is the land of opportunity. Like, I don't know how many times I've told kids, hey, you know what? There's a $1 million ideas out there. You just have to go out there and find them. It does. Reminds me of this old Bud Wilkinson story about the bird. Yes, I'm going to tell the bird story. The bird. This is during the 47-game win streak, and the players Bud didn't feel like they had a good week of practice. Bud didn't feel like they were really, vested in winning. They had won so much, they didn't have any idea what losing was. And Bud said, the bird story is that a man came to town, a knowing all man, who could, like a soothsayer, as it were. I'm not sure Bud said soothsayer. But anyway, he could answer all questions, and he got the whole town together. And somebody asked him this question about, oh, will the rain come, and blah, 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 and will this happen, blah, 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 blah. And Bud went on. Finally, a man stepped up, and he said, oh, famous soothsayer. He said, I have a bird in my hand. He said, your job is to tell me, is the bird alive or is the bird dead? And Bud thought on it a bit, because Bud's the soothsayer here. Bud thought on it a bit. And he said, well, weary traveler, if I say the bird is alive, you will merely crush it to prove your point. If I say the bird is dead, you will simply open your hands to let the bird fly away. It's 92 degrees here in the big city. 7:33 in the a.m. I'm at the post office. Ponder the bird. And in a moment, the rest of Bud Wilkinson's famous bird story. Plus a little tidbit I got about that as well. All right. Where was I? Oh, and Bud looked at the man and he said, well, just, so you can prove your point. If I say that the bird is dead, you're simply going to open up your hands and let it fly free. If I say the bird's alive, you're simply going to crush the bird and kill it. So Bud's answer? The answer is whatever you will it to be is what it will be. And there was such a hush that fell over the locker room when Bud told that story. And then somebody screamed out, let's go kill those cocksuckers. I don't know if that part's true, but they went out and won. And I can't really tell you which game that was. But Bud won 47 straight. Nobody ever won 47 straight. You can talk about Bama's, all those national championships they won. Ain't nobody ever won 3 in a row. Ain't nobody, dork. Bud didn't either. Why? Robbery. Robbery. Our best team, the 56 team, when all those guys were seniors, didn't even get to go to a bowl game because of you couldn't play in a bowl but every other year. But every other year. Forgot to get on, get off, get on, get off, get on, get off. So, and in a moment, the rest of the story. And later on, they were in the locker room and they were all waiting to go out on the field, and Bud wasn't in there. And assistant coaches were talking about this and talking about that. And not Ed Wood, Eddie Gray, tight end, All-American, awesome, said, hey, could you tell Bud to get in here, tell us the bird story so we can go out there and beat these guys just like we always do. And it was kind of strange because Ed Gray was about the only person that ever called Bud Wilkinson anything besides Coach Wilkinson, or just Mr. Wilkinson. Nobody ever called him Bud. No, none of his players ever did. Probably none of his compadres did either. John F. Kennedy did. So, and what the story behind that is they were down at Texas one year at the hotel. And Eddie Gray, I love Ed Gray. I don't even know if Ed Gray's still with us. I need to get that collectible sign. So Ed Gray's at the hotel, and he goes to his room, and he opens up the door and walks in, and well, there sits Bud Wilkinson and 2 stewardesses from the flight down. I'm making this up. It's all documented fact. No, I don't. No, it's true. And he looked up at him and he goes, Ed, I believe you're in the wrong room. Ed said, Bud, I believe I am too. And turned around and left. That supposedly is a true story. Bud was quite the ladies' man. I have read a lot about Bud Wilkinson. And I like to think I know quite a bit about Bud Wilkinson. So, 47 straight. Then Notre Dame came to town November 16th, 1957. And they came to Owen Field and beat us 7-0. Dick Lynch scored a touchdown. And, you know, we didn't play very well at all. Notre Dame didn't exactly, you know, they didn't play great. You know, they beat us 7-0. Maybe they're going to throw those back over the fence since they're there. They only beat us 7-0. Man, every time I got up, well, there's some more dirt on my Jeep. They only beat us 7-0. So, but they beat us, and the fans were just kind of, you know, they were just kind of sitting there going, you know, God, what happened? Did we really just lose? Because we had won 40. Think about that. And this is also in a time when you played 10 games and you played in a bowl game every other year. Nowadays, you play 12, you'll play in a, you know, you have a chance to win 15 games in a year. And you only win 2 national championships the last 2 years of it. 55, 56. Undefeated in 54. On a, you know, 15, we had won like maybe 15 games in a row. You know, don't win it. Actually, more than that, because I think, yeah, I don't know. I have to look it up. But a hush fell over, and then Bud took off and left the stadium and was seen walking down Lindsay Street going home. Supposedly, I don't know how true that is. But like all things, the game caught up to Bud. And, you know, he lost his mojo. So, tomorrow, Bud and the United States Senate as a Republican. All right, people. Don't you go changing.